Yes, it's me.
All right. 7:45 a.m. Wednesday morning. You just finished getting dressed for the day when the TV in your bedroom goes black. 30 seconds later, a thick Russian accent comes blasting through the speakers, updating the citizens of the United States, and specifically all citizens who rely on electrical grid 26, Chicago to Pittsburgh. The last thing that you hear is, in 60 seconds, the grid will be overloaded and will arc every outlet simultaneously. Gather your things and prepare to survive by any means. At this point, you'll be put on a 60-second timer and given the opportunity to gather your things. Anything on your list travels with you throughout the game and can be bartered with or traded. As soon as you turn the key in your truck, every house on your street catches fire. You make it out of your neighborhood and realize that your GPS is down. Question 10, where do you go first? A, Costco, B, your mom's house, C, a gun store, or D, an empty parking lot to cry. Question 9, before you get on the highway, you stop for gas, and as you pull up to the pump, you witness a crime in progress. What do? A, drive off, B, help, C, wait until the assailant leaves and check on the victim, or D, shoot the assailant. Question 8. After you fill your tank and auxiliary cans, you notice the glass is missing on the front door of the gas station. Once you're inside, what do you grab? A, candy and pops, B, tobacco, C, alcohol, D, automotive supplies. Question 7. As you gather your loot, someone tries to steal your truck and a stranger stops them. You run outside and A, confront the thief, B, say nothing, get in your truck and pull off, C, shoot the thief, or D, scare off the thief and thank the Good Samaritan. Now, if you select question D, we have a follow-up question. 7, question A, is do you feel you owe the Good Samaritan anything? Check yes or no. Question 6, how do you handle the stranger who stops the theft? A, a handshake and a hug. B, offer some sort of gesture of loyalty. C, invite him to follow you. Or D, agree to a full-blown partnership and stick with him the rest of your time, the rest of your journey to the...
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Question 5. It turns out the stranger's cousin manages a restaurant that runs off solar panels, and it's on your way in Ashland, Kentucky. After using the landline to check in with the bunker, you take your dog out back to handle business, and then you hear a tray bounce off the floor, followed by the unmistakable shoe squeaks. What do? A, leave. B, negotiate with the kidnapper and refuse his initial demand. C, shoot them both, #purge. Or D, call his bluff. Question 4. Before you can decide to act, the phone in the office rings and the kidnapper starts scribbling the coordinates and specific directions that you were waiting on. The Good Samaritan sees a letter opener and seizes his opportunity. The call disconnects, and the kidnapper wasn't able to finish writing the coordinates, but he heard them, and he has a letter opener sticking out of his neck. Now what? A, try and stop the bleeding long enough to get the coordinates. B, use your last surgical first aid kit and sutures to save his life. C, let him bleed out and try to get there using the longitude coordinates only. Or D, twist a letter opener in an effort to manipulate the final coordinate out of him. Question 3. While you're arguing with the kidnapper, you hear a diesel truck and at least 2 motorcycles pull up. You make eye contact with your Good Samaritan and he asks for your spare pistol. The engines go quiet. It's time to make a decision. A, cut your losses, bounce out the back door. B, give him your sidearm and keep working on the kidnapper. C, abandon the kidnapper, run interference and let the Good Samaritan pull the trigger. Or D, send the Good Samaritan to run interference and you pull the trigger. Question 2. 11 shots later, 3 men are dead, and that's the second time that the Good Samaritan has had your back. And this time, he saved your life. The timer dings and dinner is ready. The Good Samaritan says a blessing over the food, and you decide to reveal your destination and your dilemma about the coordinates. Now what do? A, get moving. B, Wait for the next public service announcement? C, shake down the back offices and look for anything of value? Or D, disassemble both motorcycles, fit them in your truck, and leave? Question 1, our final question. On your way out of the parking lot, you notice a reflective flash in the brush. It turns out 4 people are dead, and you just came up on a CB radio and a map of Kentucky that's older than you in the glove box. While the Good Samaritan wires the CB to your truck, you decide on a route. You make it all the way to Mount Sterling. You make it all the way to the Mount Sterling Lexington Bridge, only to find out that it's been compromised. Make a call. A, double back, jeopardizing your fuel supply. B, try and traverse the river. Or C, scout shelter for the night. And those are our first 10 questions.
I appreciate your life.